Building kids is a lot. I think at the most basic level, we're a preschool that fully integrates music, dance, and theater, the performing arts to accelerate the development of children holistically, emotionally, socially, cognitively, linguistically, physically, academically. We prep them for not only getting into elementary school, but for life. Combined with the developmentally appropriate curriculum is a phenomenal experience for children, but we're a little bit more than that. We actually dedicate 25% of our profits here at Building Kidz to helping orphaned and abandoned children with hearing disabilities, vision impairment, and juvenile diabetes. And so when parents decide to pick Building Kidz as a partner to them in the development of their children, they're not only making a great decision for their child, they're making a great decision for a child they may not ever meet. All of our franchisees have access to our entire curriculum and operations, which is infants all the way up until 6th grade after school. But it's really up to them. At a minimum, all franchisees provide services ages 2 through 5, and they can choose to append services on either end of that age range, infants and toddlers, and after school, kindergarten through 5th grade. My desire is that every franchisee knows where they want to go, and then how can they use me as a vehicle? How can they use Building Kidz as a vehicle to get to where you want to be? And when they do that, some of them come in and say, hey, there's a huge need in the market. I'm not waiting 3 years. Let's open up 2 right away. Some come in and say, let me open up 1. Let me make sure that it's getting to 85% full within a few years. And then I'm going to go to my 2nd and 3rd. And we're starting to see that now for sure.
I believe parents would invest the money to put their children in the best school environment for them, right? Especially with all the craziness happening in public schools. They're going to do whatever they can to put their child into the best educational system they can. So that is another, I think, big factor there. The other thing I was just thinking that I wanted to point out why I like this business model, and I'm not just saying it because you're on with me, is that if you really think about it, a lot of people talk about recurring revenue in a business model. So this is a very sticky business model too, because not only are we talking about the good, what we do here, but we're also talking about, hey, at the end of the day, it's still got to be profitable. It's got to be a good business. And it just came to my mind, like, well, you're going to have these kids for many years. So if you do a great job, they're going to stay with you, and then they're going to be referring all their friends to the school. So that checks a big box in when looking at a business. I always talk about that. It's like, is there any kind of recurring revenue? Well, yeah, you're going to have the kids for maybe 6 years or 5 years, right? Potentially. So that's pretty sticky.
The only other way to be that profitable and that successful is to have a significant amount of enrollment. So you don't get that profitability at 40% of enrollment. You get that level of profitability at 75, 80, 85% of enrollment. And that really comes down to execution. So franchisees have to really take what we're teaching them, how we're guiding them, how we're supporting them, and execute locally. And if you do that well, then the model has proven that we're able to drive these types of margins throughout the system. If you have a desire that this is something that excites you, you're going to put out the energy. And more importantly, people are going to feel it. And when they feel it, that's what connects us in this realm. It's like, yeah, you have a curriculum. Sure, you have this experience for children, but it's really the feeling that parents have that's super important, right? They got to know that their child's in a great environment.